Welcome back. With warnings of disruptive rain around Gauteng for yesterday and today, Tshwane emergency services attended to reports of motorists trapped in floods in parts of Pretoria North. To give us an update on the situation, we're now joined via Zoom by EMS spokesperson Charles Mabaso. Mr. Mabaso, a very good morning. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Morning, Simpwe, and sincere greetings to the viewers at home.
Now, speak to us about the situation which you were called to attend to in Pretoria North yesterday.
Yeah, in fact, it's two places or two parts of the city, which is Pretoria North in the Paul Kruger Street going into Rachel de Pierre, just close to the area where there is construction for the Ariang bus terminals, where a motorist was trapped inside the water, but managed to move out safely. And traffic was impacted in that part of the area. Motorists had to divert to other nearby routes. And then it was followed by an incident on Steve Biko Street, which is in Gezina, which is part of the city center, where on Steve Biko Street and Johan Haynes, the one other vehicle was also trapped in the water as the bridge there was flooded. But the passengers also managed to move to safety, and traffic was impacted for some times also in that area.
Are you at liberty to share with us the figures of how many people were affected, and what update are you able to provide for us this morning?
We were fortunate because it was only the two motorists, and in one vehicle there was two passengers, and the other vehicle there was only one passenger that managed to move out to safety. Since yesterday, there has not been any incidents of flooding reported around those areas and around any parts of Tshwane, but we are monitoring the situation very closely, because we are aware that going into the weekend, we will be going into a weekend where some or additional motorists or people will be returning back. And with that, we are on high alert to ensure that the motorists are safe, as well as other residents in other parts of the city.
Which are some of the hotspots for flooding, and what update is there?
Yeah, Tshwane has known hotspots for flooding around the Centurion area. The Centurion area has got multiple low water bridges, which are surrounded by the Henops River, which makes them a very dangerous hotspot, because once a person is swept on those low water bridges, then they might be swept into a river. And then also going into the northern parts of the city, in the Hammanskraal area, the Apis River goes through the Hammanskraal area. And as such, it's also one area that one needs to be very careful when driving around the low water bridges there. Coming up to the Apis River, still in the Vonderboom area and the Horensneck plots, the people must also be very vigilant around that area, and as well as around the PPC on DF Malan and Stats Artillery. The low water bridge there also is very close to the Apis River, or crosses the Apis River in that area. So it's quite a dangerous bridge if overflown. Going to parts of Mamelodi, where we've got bridges like the Banana Bridge, as well as the bridge behind Mams Mall, which are known hotspots for flooding. And in those areas, we urge motorists and residents to be extremely vigilant during the times where it is raining, and not to hesitate to dial our toll-free number, which is 107 in case of emergency situations.
Were you able to monitor some of the low-lying areas and the flood lines near the rivers, which are obviously at a higher risk of being affected?
Yeah, yesterday we were looking that more especially the low water bridge that I mentioned around the DF Malan and starts artillery, because that rain that we experienced yesterday was a sort of a cloud burst, around the city center and parts of the north. And then it was not widespread to the east as well as the south part of the city, where we normally see a lot of rainfall. So then we had to dispatch firefighters to go and monitor the low water bridge there, since there were reports that motorists were making U-turns. And it was fortunate that we found that the water has slightly subsided, but the Metro Police was also notified to be on high alert to monitor that low water bridge.
All right, Mr. Charles Mabaso, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for your update.
You're welcome, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you. That was Tshwane EMS spokesperson Charles Mabaso giving us an update on the rain and the flooding in Pretoria.